Once you've cleaned up your data in Excel, you can see that I have these columns that are all clean and making sure that they're all filled in. You now can create a pivot chart. So when you're in Excel, if you go into the insert, and you can pick a pivot table. A pivot table is a simple way in which to manipulate information. You'll want to select a table or range, and then you'll want to end up clicking in the A1 box and dragging it all the way to the end of your data at the bottom of the page so that you're getting all of this information in your pivot table. And as we do this, you can see my information is is filled in so that you will have clean charts. And once you get to the end, you just click and it will fill that into the table range. Then you want to click on New Worksheet because you want this in a different Excel sheet, and then simply hit OK. Once you get to this page, this is where you can start creating your graphs. The first thing you'll want to do is take your student ID numbers and move that down in here to values. This will help count the number of students in each category. And once you've put them into the values, you will go over here to the column A where it says the sum of student numbers, right click, and then you'll want to go down to the value field settings, because what we don't want to do is we want to count the number of students in each one of these categories. So you do the value field setting and use the count and hit OK. So that means I have 474 students who have discipline referrals. Now what I want to do is start looking at different information. And the nice thing is you can just simply click from this menu and drag it into these boxes down here to create your graphs. What we're going to do first is let's click on years, or the month, I guess. We'll click on that and drag it, and that's going to be one of my charts. And what I want to do then is go up to Insert, and we want to do a graph and pick whatever kind of graph. I usually just use the simple 2-column graphs. Okay, and what this is, now you can see by simply dragging month down here and clicking the graph, I can then have a graph that shows me my discipline for each month, and on the left hand side is the count. Now if you want numbers for each column, simply right click, go down to Add Data Labels and click on that, and it'll actually give you the total. The nice thing about this graph now is I could click and grab it and put it in a PowerPoint or something like that, but that's how you can get your information pretty quickly. And if you want to continue to look at just different things, we can say what is it by grade level for each month. You simply grab the grade level, click down, and put it down here in the axis fields. Okay, and now you can see month and you can see each grade. So it's a quick way to manipulate graphs. And if you want to limit some of the things, you have to, if you go over to the columns here and I click on the pull down menu, I can then begin to monitor. If I just want to look at November, I click the select all off, click on November, hit OK, and now I'm just looking at November's data. So there's a lot of ways to manipulate. Yeah, you'd have to learn a little bit, about Excel and just basically playing with it, but there's a lot of things you can do with this. You can also, if you want to change the way your graph looks, is take month over here in the rows and put it in the columns. And what that will do is now give you a legend on the side for each month, and it puts them all together so you can look at a different type of graph. And again, you can add data labels by right-clicking and then hitting data labels. And you'd have to, unfortunately, click on each graph in order for that to happen. So we're going to go ahead and put all that on there. So a lot of different ways, again, and then you can cut and paste this into a PowerPoint or whatever you would like. And if you don't want the grade levels, you simply click on it, drag it back up here to this menu and drop it, and it's gone. And then you can go through and do all kinds of things with ethnicity, special ed, and do all kinds of combinations. If you want to go gender, and then you want to do ethnicity. And again, the more you pull in, now you'll have to kind of look at your graph, because the more you pull in, obviously, the more information. So you may want to start limiting some of that. And if you want to change the way it looks a little bit, if you grab the gender and drag and put it below, it will then flip your graph around to where that's the genders on top and the ethnicities on bottom. So again, you kind of just got to play with it to see what works best for you. So I hope this has been helpful for as quick as I can do this, but wish you the best of luck. If you need anything, just give me a call.